The iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus are now official, and while they may not have all the premium features of the Pro models, they're still the most accessible thanks to their cheaper price. The iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max feature most of the upgrades this time around, for both design and hardware. The iPhone 14 Plus was rumored to be called the iPhone 14 Max prior to launch, but Apple decided to revive the Plus model name that hasn't been used since the iPhone 8 Plus in 2017. The new model replaces the iPhone Mini, which was discontinued just 2 years after it was originally introduced with the iPhone 12 series. While the mini flagship iPhone is officially dead, Apple continues to cater to those who prefer smaller screens with the iPhone SE. The iPhone 14 lineup was announced at Apple's Far Out event on September 7. Apart from the 4 new iPhones, Apple also launched 3 new smartwatches: the Apple Watch Series 8, Apple Watch Ultra, and Apple Watch SE 2. In addition, the long-awaited to the AirPods Pro were also unveiled. iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus design notch. To stay one of the biggest design changes in the iPhone 14 Pro models is the new dynamic island, a pill-shaped notch that also doubles up as a notification bar. Unfortunately, this feature isn't available on the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus, which retain the same wide notch as the iPhone 13 series. In fact, the two iPhones look exactly the same as the iPhone 13. They are made of aluminum with a glass back and feature an IP68 water resistance rating. The iPhone 14 retains the iPhone 13's Super Retina XDR 6.1-inch OLED display. The iPhone 14 Plus, on the other hand, gets a 6.7-inch screen to match the iPhone 14 Pro Max's size. Both feature Apple's ceramic shield protection, but miss out on the 120Hz refresh rate of the Pro models. This also means that the iPhone 14 Pro's always-on display feature is also missing on the base iPhones. As for the colors, the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus come in 5 shades: blue, purple, midnight, starlight, and product red. The new purple color is a lighter shade that's more lilac, unlike the iPhone 14 Pro models which get a dark purple hue. iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus cameras. Better self is the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus retain the dual 12MP cameras seen on the iPhone 13, but there are a few upgrades. The main camera now has a larger aperture of f1.5 compared to f1.6 on the iPhone 13, allowing the sensor to let in more light and larger 1.9 pixels for improved detail. While the ultra-wide camera appears to remain unchanged, the 12MP front camera now offers autofocus and a wider f1.9 aperture. In addition to the sensor upgrades, the iPhone 14 series gets the new Photonic engine, which improves the performance of all cameras in low light. A new action mode for video has also been added to smoothen out shakes and vibrations caused when recording action scenes. While the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus don't get the new 48MP main camera of their Pro counterparts, there should be a noticeable difference in image quality compared to the iPhone 13 series. iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus specs. Minor performance bump. Apple usually upgrades the processor on its iPhone models every year, but in 2022, that doesn't apply across the lineup. While there is an A16 Bionic chip, it's been reserved for the Pro models. This means that the iPhone 14 and 14 Plus stick to the A15 Bionic chip seen on the iPhone 13 series. Apple claims this is because the A15 Bionic is still among the most powerful smartphone chips around, but iPhone 14 buyers might not agree. The good news is that the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus have received a RAM upgrade. While Apple never reveals the RAM capacity on its iPhones, McRumors, via's Code Beta 14, has confirmed that all the iPhone 14 models feature 6GB RAM. The iPhone 13 only has 4 GB of RAM, so this is a significant bump. The increased RAM should make opening graphics-heavy apps and games and multitasking smoother. The storage options on the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus are the same as the iPhone 13, with buyers getting to choose from 128 GB, 256 GB, and 512 GB options. The iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus do come with a few new features, including car crash detection. Thanks to a new dual-core accelerometer, the iPhone can detect when the user has been in a car crash and automatically dial emergency services. There's also a new emergency SOS via satellite feature, which allows users to send emergency messages using satellite connectivity when they're in an area with no cellular or Wi-Fi coverage. Another change coming to all iPhone 14 models is the elimination of the SIM card tray. All iPhone 14 models sold in the US will use only eSIM, given that most major carriers now offer the feature. Dual eSIM will also be available for those who have more than one phone number. iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus battery, will they last longer? The battery capacity is another key spec Apple never reveals, but this has been confirmed on a Chinese regulatory site via MacRumors. According to the listing, the iPhone 14 has a 3279 mAh battery, which is almost identical to the iPhone 13. The iPhone 14 Plus has a much larger 4325 mAh battery, which was expected, given its larger screen size. With Apple's optimizations, users can expect the iPhone 14 to last a day with moderate use, while the iPhone 14 Plus should last the same time with heavy usage. Unfortunately, Apple still lags behind the competition when it comes to fast charging, with the iPhone 14 models maxing out at 20W wired charging speeds and 15W with MagSafe. Wireless charging is also available, with maximum speeds of 7.5W with a compatible Qi charger. There's still no charger in the box either, so users will need to buy one separately. As for the charging port, Apple is still sticking to Lightning with this generation of iPhones, with the inevitable switch to USB-C expected in 2023 with the iPhone 15 series. iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus verdict iPhone buyers have come to expect a range of new features on every new generation of iPhone, but this year, it seems like Apple is reserving the big changes for its Pro models. The iPhone 14 and 14 Plus carry forward most features from the iPhone 13, including the display, design, and even the performance. The only real upgrades are with the RAM and cameras, but that's not going to be exciting enough for the average user. Apple has done well on the pricing, with the iPhone 14 starting at $799 and the iPhone 14 Plus starting at $899. While the iPhone 14 will be the de facto choice for iPhone buyers who want the cheapest new iPhone, the Plus model might see more interest given its larger screen and better battery life. While it's obvious that Apple needs to distinguish between the standard and Pro iPhone 14 models, the massive differences this time around are likely to disappoint buyers. The iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus don't offer anything drastically different from the iPhone 13, giving users of newer iPhones little reason to upgrade. Source: Apple YouTube, Apple, MacRumors.